All right, so I want to kind of skip ahead a little bit here and just kind of get to why we start talking about the aeronauts. Okay, and this is all in relationship to the question of and kind of where we finished off just a moment ago, as it relates to how things came to be this way, and also like figuring out how it is we ought to live. And essentially in section 6, okay, Ishmael and the narrator start off having this conversation, this dialogue, as it relates to looking for laws. Okay, and the notion and what Ishmael is trying to push is the fact that, to tell us how it is we ought to live can be connected to and related with simple laws of nature, simple laws of the biotic community. Okay? And when we think about the biotic community, we think about that in terms of the whole system of life by which humans are part of, as opposed to distinct from. Okay? And yes, the law. This is section 4. The law we're looking for here is much like that with respect to civilizations. It's not about civilization, but it applies to civilizations in the same way that it applies to flocks of birds, herds of deer. It makes no distinction between human civilizations and beehives. It applies to all species without distinction. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and so in this kind of conversation, what we're looking for here is laws. Okay, they start talking about the laws of aerodynamics. So again, flight. Okay. What goes up must come down. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. All right. And so this is section 6 of chapter 6. Okay. And this is your main main point of investigation for your current piece of writing. Okay. And I think this is really interesting. And it's been a couple of times when I've taught this book, when I read this book, this is always a really interesting kind of anecdote to thinking about the laws, right? This might give too much away too soon. I really do hope that you're reading. I know it might just be easy to watch these videos and kind of BS your way through papers. And in particular, we will talk about BS next week, like on an academic level. So anyway. But Ishmael, and by using this anecdote here of the aeronaut, what essentially Ishmael is trying to say is that human beings, as much as we think because of our self-imposed importance, because of feeling as if we are above everything else, that, all the stories that we tell ourselves that we are above evolution, that we are the pinnacle of evolution. Well, in fact, right here, what we see is that we are not exempt from the laws of nature. Okay? Even when we think we are, even when we have convinced ourselves that we are exempt from the laws of nature, or we are exempt from the laws that govern every other living thing ever, we are actually not. Okay? And so Ishmael gives this anecdote of the AirPerson here. And I'll pick up with that in just a moment.